doing this video because I was reminded of how our life is like a replay. My daughter says it's like you put a tape into a tape player and you just keep pressing repeat again and again, and you replay it again and again. People screw with us, but one thing I was thinking about, everything that I've studied my whole life, being the weirdo in the library, reading all the international finance and international news and Deutsche Post and New York Times, and at the same time reading Vogue and GQ. I used to spend a lot of time at the library, a lot, reading the journal and in the news, in the free press. I studied international finance and the markets and news relevant to international security for most of my life, which explains why when I went into force protection I stuck with it and studied areas relevant to that in grad school. So I can, I'm a pretty astute person. I can recognize things. And I could tell when it appears people are recruiting people to move around you and screw with you. And then they share their information with other people through social media, but not just blasting in public, privately in social media, to a group. And, it's just, I kid you not, it's like someone is doing every possible thing they can to not just annoy you, but to sabotage you, Annoying somebody is not dotting an I. Sabotaging somebody is not putting the whole word there. That's what has been happened to us repeatedly, And I try to be patient, keep my military bearing. I'm just sick of it. And I know we're not the only people they do this to. I know that we're not. We've just got it the worst. Even at clinics, they redo something. Every time they redo it, they just change to a different error. And you get, let's say, for example, you get a appliance replaced in your house, and they'll make it up real good. They'll shine it up and put some plastic on it and say, oh, this is new. But then when you use it for a while, you realize it's not, and it's been tampered with. Like if you go to, there's a big difference in the carts between Bay Road Walmart, this is when you go into Saginaw County, and the State Street Brockway, I think it's Brockway Walmart. Very different. This example, the Amigos. You go to Bay Road, somebody is tampering with them. You'll get stuck in the middle of the store full of groceries, or you won't be able to make that right-hand turn, and you'll go right into, a display because somebody is loosening the steering column. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, they loosen the battery connections so that you'll default out, or not default out, ground fault out. I'm sorry, so that you'll get a ground fault between the LCD panel, the buttons, and the battery, and you'll get stuck. It's obvious somebody's tampering with these things, because to mess with the steering column or the electric wiring harness, those are all enclosed. And there's a lot of them that are messed with. And it's not just old batteries. It's a lot more than that. I've ridden a great deal of them when I've went there over the years. Actually, I would say over the years. This has been about the past year that I've seen this happening with those carts. And they'll call somebody in to fix them, and then they'll act up all over again. It's like that, you know. Somebody's messing with those. Could it be people waiting for the bus? No. Not at all. Not at all. That's us. People will find any possible way to mess with us. You know, defective appliances, messing with the wiring in our place. You know, I have 4 lights that when they are fixed, within 12 hours of maintenance leaving, they'll stop again. And then, miraculously, when they come here, they'll start again. This has been going on for almost 3 years. And it's pretty obvious that somebody's been up there messing with them because the vent that's right next to it, the corner of the vent is sagging down from the ceiling, and the light itself is sagging down from the ceiling. So somebody's been up there to put pressure to push them down. Stuff like that. It's like they mess with the wiring in my Saab to ruin it. People have been doing this to us for 8 years, and nobody does anything about it. The complexes, the housing agencies, the cops, nothing. 8 years of freaking torment. Throwing garbage at our door, you know, making racial comments, but then saying to authorities that it was me that said the comments. You know, we don't go around saying racial baiting crap, but if people want to feed it to me, I'll feed it back. I'm sick of being targeted. We're sick of people sabotaging our life. Hacking into our accounts, that's another thing people will do to sabotage you or to stress you out. They will hack into your accounts. Like VA, my disability claim has been deleted twice. And the current one has been sitting there for 2 months. Nothing's happening. They deleted my dependents once. They tried to delete that I have multiple periods of active duty. They tried to delete it. That way I wouldn't qualify for more GI Bill after that Supreme Court case, the Rudisill decision, which basically gives anybody who's done more than one period of active duty, especially if you've deployed, 1 more year of GI Bill. I've applied for a Rudisill review 3 times. One time I received an email back. It didn't have my name. It didn't have a date. It had nothing in there except, we told you in 2012, as of 2013, you no longer have benefits. That's it. There was nothing in there. My name wasn't even on it. I've applied for, like I said, a Rudisill decision, at least twice. And one time when I call, I swear I talked to a lady that works in one of our local grocery stores. I swear it sounded just like her. Maybe she works at the call center. It certainly wasn't the VA. The VA doesn't use a call center. Not the education side. They have their own complex that you call, and you get an actual VA case manager who will take your claim for action. They actually work for the VA. They don't use contact centers. So if it was this lady from the grocery store, then I know that my whole time with her on the phone was BS. If she has all my identity information, everything. That's the problem. I despise Morley. I hate that place. You know, they don't govern their employees when they hire them. They teach them all the ins and outs of a call center, and then some of the SOBs start their own independent contractor, and all they do, contractor job as a call center, and all they do is screw people over. It's rampant here. They just get fired sometimes, go under a new name or incorporate, a new company or a new LLC, go right back to it. These people don't deserve the blessing of a business. Let them live in poverty and eat garbage. That's where people like that belong. Living in poverty, on the street or in the woods, eating garbage. They don't belong in the normal world with normal people. If they're going to abuse others and abuse the blessing of having a business to set their own goals at life, to live the dream, as Dr. King Jr. talked about. If people are going to treat the dream like that to make it another person's nightmare, take it away from them permanently. Let them live in the street or in the woods in a little tent city and eat garbage. That's the way I feel. When I'm tired of being targeted so much. I've had enough. I've had enough. And it ticks me off that people would actually think, number one, whoever's recruiting people who are minorities to move around us and screw with us and antagonize us, you think they're going to make me a racist? No. I hate racists. The only kind of people that I have a confrontation to immediately is one, people with no empathy who are abusive. I will go right at them. Right at them. And there's a couple of people who know who they are. They're right in my eyesight right now. I'm just waiting to file charges against them. I'm just waiting. One person, you know who you are. We just saw you today. These are abusers. I don't know their history. I know the personality. Abusers. They abuse people when they interact, and then they try to soft soap it over, or they try to gaslight the people they're abusing with others so they look good. I've lived it. It happened to somebody in my family. Tried to gaslight this person the whole time. These kind of people, automatically, I will have a confrontation with them. Especially I see them being abusive. They get too close to me, I'm going to shut them down. They're going to look in my eyes, and they're going to know I'm just waiting. Just waiting for them to cross the boundary, just waiting. I will put them down on the floor, and I will make sure they get arrested. I will make sure. One person has already crossed the line one time. One time. The only reason that I didn't get her arrested was because my respect for the bus that we were on. That's the only reason. I didn't want to make a scene and cause trouble with another person's business. Or another, I should say, people's business. A group of persons' business. A group of people's business. She wants to poke me in my neck and my shoulder. She thinks it's funny. The only reason she got away with that, and if you're watching this, you know who you are. The only reason you got away with it is because my respect for the drivers, the vast majority of them, and for that company. If it wasn't for that company being patient with all the drunks, all the perverts, all the abusers, like you in particular, and like all the people that want to complain because the bus didn't stop here, they wanted it to stop here. Hey, it's usually men. Hey, stop here. Well, first of all, it's a bus. You ring the bell to stop the bus at the next sign, not in front of your house. It's not to go to your house or to go to your complex, or to take you inside the parking lot at Meijer or Walmart. It's a bus, not a taxi. Be happy what you have. I've been in cities where you have nothing. You better hoof it. Oh, it's 10 degrees below zero? Better wear 3 layers. I have great respect for that company and for the vast majority of the drivers, even though there's a lot of troublemakers on there. A lot of people. They use that opportunity. They try to get away with whatever they can, all kinds of stuff, but the drivers are very patient. Very. I'd be kicking people off my bus. They want to give me an attitude or get aggressive? Okay, I'll get you arrested. Yeah, you want to act like an attitude and get physically aggressive? I'm not going to just yell and say, get off my bus. I'm going to detain you until you're taken away in handcuffs. I know my rights and I know the law very well. But anyway, it's people like this that take advantage of and abuse others, and they find it funny to annoy others or to try to sabotage their family. We've encountered too many of these kind of people, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people messing with our health, messing with my daughter's emotional health, targeting my daughter, messing with her when she's doing her homework or watching a video or playing a game. I'm tired of people crossing boundaries at our house, our complex. I've had enough. I'm sick of it. I'm not going to be nice guy anymore. I'm not going to be Mr. Patient. Remember, Jesus was kind. He was merciful. He was forgiving. But for the arrogant, the unempathetic, the hypocrite, the cruel person who had no idea about the suffering of others, he had contempt and even hatred. So can I.